Okay, class, we are looking at a seesaw activity that you guys did in class a few days ago, but I wanted to take a few minutes to go over this before we move on to congruent shapes today. So you guys had to write these notes down, remember? So we're going to be looking at this too. This helps us figure out the attributes that are going to make it qualify for one side of the Venn diagram or the other, okay? So if I look at this Venn diagram, I have quadrilaterals on the left and polygons with right angles on the right. And then in the middle, you would have what? Both. If in the middle, you would have shapes that are quadrilaterals and they have a right angle, okay? So I'm going to start with A. I've already put it in there for you, but this is a quadrilateral and it has no right angles. Okay, so it goes there. B. It's already been put in the center. Why? Why does it go in the center? It has a right angle. Good, Kaylee. I can expand this real quick to show you. Oh, not that. But if I take my marker, I can see a right angle here and here. So since it has both, it needs to go in the center, okay? Let's just do the letters. Ooh. Yeah, see, this is why I didn't want y'all to move all these shapes around, because when you start getting overlapping, it's hard to move stuff. There we go. Okay, so we've got A. Oh my gosh. B in the center. C. If we look up here, C is a quadrilateral. What makes a shape a quadrilateral? Kelsey? It has 4 sides. Good. D. Did it have any right angles? No, so we put it over here. E. Does it have 4 sides? Yes. Does it have any right angles? No, so we would put E over here. F. Does it have 4 sides? Does it have a right angle? No, so it goes over here, right? All right, G. Does it have 4 sides? Does it have right angles? So where would it go? In both. So we need to take the G, put it in the center. H. Where would that go? Quadrilaterals. I. Quadrilaterals. Good. It has 4 sides. J. Quadrilaterals. Good. It has no right angles. Okay. K. Both. Good. Okay. L. Quadrilaterals. Good. M. Nothing. Good. It does not have 4 sides. It does not have a right angle. N. Nothing. This is not a polygon because why? What makes a shape a polygon? Closed and straight. Good. These are not straight sides. Okay. N or O. Neither. P. Q. No right angles. Okay, good. What about R? No. S. T. U. V. Does it have a right angle? Yes. So V would be just on this side. It's a polygon and it has right angles, but it's not a quadrilateral. So it goes over here by itself. W? Neither? Okay. And the last one, X. It's a quadrilateral. Good. Does it have right angles? It's both. Good. So we have X in the middle. So the only one that would be over here is V and X. Okay. The next slide. Polygons with 4 angles and 4 sides. And then over here, it has to have more than 4 or less than 4. Okay. So which ones have 4 angles and 4 sides? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. And then when we get to M, it has how many? 5. So I'm just going to go ahead and put A through, where did we stop? L's, all the way to L. Okay, then I get to M. So does that have more than 4? Okay, so we would put it over here. What about N? Is it a polygon? No, it's not a polygon because it's not straight. So it goes where? Nothing. It goes nowhere because it's not straight. So it can't be a polygon with 4 sides because it's not a polygon. It can't be a polygon with more than 4 sides because it's not a polygon. What about O? No. P? Q? More. Good. It has more than 4 sides. Okay. What about R? That's a polygon. Yeah. So does it have 4 or more or less than 4? More. So R. S? More. Good. T? Nothing. U? More. V? More. That's a polygon. It's straight sides. W? More. And X? Okay, well, let's look at X. Does it have 4 sides? Yes. Does it have 4 angles? So where would it go? Good, over here. X. Okay. Now the next one you had to sort was polygons with 1 pair of parallel sides. And then over here, polygons with more than 1 pair of parallel sides. Who can tell me what parallel means? Forgot. Okay, so when I say railroad tracks, does that help you remember? What does it mean, Bryson, to be parallel? They'll never touch or never intersect each other. And it has to be the sides that are opposite from each other, okay? Not sides that are touching, but sides that are opposite, like the left and the right, they're opposite. The top and the bottom, they're opposite, okay? So this was probably one of the more challenging ones. So if I look at A, does it have any parallel sides? Opposites. So the left and the right here look like they're going to be parallel. Let's see if I draw right here and right here. Does that look parallel? No, it looks like eventually if I kept going, they would intersect. It would take a while, but they would intersect, okay? B, does it have a pair of parallel sides? Yes, the top and the bottom. Okay, what about C? That's a parallelogram. So or not C, I'm looking at D. C would be what? Does it have any parallel sides? Now we make it bigger so you can see. C. Do we see any parallel sides? And they have to be opposite. So meaning opposite, I need to go here and here. Are these going to intersect? Yes. If I just kept on drawing. They're going to intersect out here. Okay. So it does not have any parallel sides. Going on to D. Do we see parallel sides? Yes. So is it one pair or more than one pair? More than one. Good. The top and the bottom are parallel, and the left and the right are parallel. So D. What about E? More? Kaylee says more than one pair. Do y'all agree? Good, Kaylee. F? Do we see any parallel? It's right here. More. Good. Oh. G? That's a square, so that's a parallelogram. Good. It'd be on the more than one pair of parallel sides. H, do you see any parallel sides? Right here? Right there. One pair. Good. I see right here is parallel to the bottom. Okay, so it would go over here. That is H. I. So this side is opposite from, it's kind of hard to tell. This one? Do we see any parallel sides? No, okay. J? One pair, good. The top and the bottom. K? More. L? All right, try to trace it straight. There's one. Okay, so those are parallel. And the left and the right, are they parallel? Yes. M? No. What about N? No, it's not even a polygon. O? No. P? Q? I see a parallel side, top and bottom. Okay. Let me pick a different color. What about here? Is this parallel to here? Yes. Let me pick another color. This one, is this parallel to this one? Yes. So it would go where? More. Good. And that was Q. R? No. S? That has more. That's the same as, it's the same as Q. So S and Q are the same exact shape. T? No, that's not a polygon. U? Okay, let's see. Here and here. Are those going to intersect? What do you think? Yes, they're going to intersect. So are they parallel? No, none of these will end up being parallel. What about V? This is parallel to this. This is parallel to this and this. So where do you think that would go? More. Good. W? Where would it go? One pair or more than one pair of parallel sides? More. Good. And X? More. Okay, so now you're getting the hang of it. Polygon, non-polygon. This should be the easiest one now. Which ones are not polygons? Kelsey? Heart, so that's N. The cloud. The hook, okay, T. So we got that one, the cloud, and the heart. Anything else? The moon. That's straight and it's closed. So what are all the ones that are left? Are they polygons? Yes. So you would put everything else over here on this side. That would be A through M. And then you would have QRS, U, V, W, and X. Okay? Now do we have a little bit better understanding of what all these terms mean? You just had to take it one step at a time, and then it's pretty easy. Okay? All right, so now what we're going to do is go over congruent and not congruent. Congruent, all that means, guys, is shapes that are the same exact size. Same size and same shape. So can a pentagon and a rectangle be congruent? No, because they're not the same shape. Can a circle and a rhombus be congruent? No, they have to be the same shape and same size. Do you think it matters if I twist them around? If I have two squares that are exactly the same and I twist it, would they still be congruent? Yes. Okay. So congruent is what we're going to practice today. Two shapes that have the same size and same shape. So we have these two. They're exactly the same. Two diamonds, two rectangles. Okay. So now what we're going to do, I'm going to put some shapes under the document camera and we're going to practice saying whether they're congruent or not. Okay. This one. Yes. Oh, yes? They're congruent. No. Why are they not congruent? Aaliyah, I saw you shaking your head. No. Why were they not congruent? They're not the same size. Okay, so see how this one's smaller? So are these congruent? No. Say it loud and proud. Okay. Congruent or not? Yes. Congruent or not? No. No, they are two different sizes and two different shapes. Nope. That's why we're just going through it like this, because it's super easy. They are the same shape, same size, so yes, they're congruent. No, not the same size. They are the same shape. Nope. Yes, good. They are congruent. Does it matter if they're flipped around? No. Are they the same shape? Are they the same size? Yes, so they are congruent. Yes, same size and shape. No, these are not congruent. This one's smaller. No, not congruent. Why not? Kelsey? They're both the same height. Yes. This one's skinnier. Squished. Yes, she says squished. So this one is a little bit skinnier. It's not as wide. So they're not congruent. Yes. Congruent. Not congruent. Good. Nope, not congruent. Two different shapes. Yes, good. Same size and same shape. No. No. Oh, look carefully. Yes, they're the same shape and the same size. One is just turned a different way. Oops. So yes, those are congruent. Yes, good. No, good. There's one smaller than the other, so they're not congruent. No. Star is different shape. And that's it. So now what you guys are going to do is we're going to get out our Volume 2 math book. Okay. And we're going to turn to page, I think it's 515, but I'm not positive, so let me double check. Not 515. Okay, we're actually going to start on page 500. I want to just briefly talk about pattern blocks, okay? So pattern blocks are these little shapes right here. In my class, I have a set of them, and they're like little wooden just shapes, all different colors, right? So here on number 1, it says, which pattern block appears to be congruent to shape A? So what would you say? Shape what? B or C? C. So these two are congruent. Okay. Number 2, circle the two pattern blocks you can combine to make a figure congruent to the hexagon. Okay. So we're looking at the hexagon right here, the yellow one. Which pattern blocks over here can we combine to look like a hexagon? And you have choices down here. 2 rhombuses. So everybody put your finger on the rhombus in your book. Which one's the rhombus? Okay. If you put it on the blue one, you are correct. Okay. Do you think I can put 2 of those together to look like a hexagon? No, you kind of have to imagine it. But no, if you put 2 of those together, it won't. Okay. 2 squares. So if I put 2 squares together, no, that's just going to make a longer square or a rectangle. Okay. 2 trapezoids, which is the red one, right? If I put those together, will that look like a hexagon? Yeah, so let's just draw it. If I draw a hexagon on top of this, a trapezoid on top of this, it would look like that. I just flipped it over, right? Okay, good. So it would be 2 trapezoids. Okay, numbers 3 and 4, I want you to look at real quick and tell me yes or no on whether they are congruent. You might have to count. So to count, I would count the dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 squares going across the top. Remember, to be congruent, they have to be the same size and the same shape. Okay, so look at 3 and 4. Write yes or no whether they're congruent or not. Okay, looking at number 3, what did you guys get? Are they congruent? No, y'all can just shout it out. There's only, 6 of y'all in here right now, so let's just, this is okay to shout out because we're just saying yes or no, as long as y'all say it together, okay? Everybody said no, so let's double check. I said there's 5 squares going across the top here, and I'm going to count going across the top over here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares. So I know they're not the same size. Okay. Over here, what about the trapezoids? Yes or no? Yes. Okay, I'm going to count. There's 1, 2 going across the small. 1, 2. So those are equal. If I look at the sides, it's going down 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So both of those are equal. Okay, now going across the long side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. I'm going across over here, and I'm just counting from one dot to the next. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so all the sides were the same, so that means yes, they are congruent. Okay, I think you guys have the hang of it. You guys want to look real quickly at number 7? List all the pairs of figures that appear to be congruent. You may have to count again using those dots. You're writing the letter, so if you think W and V are congruent, then you need to put WV down here on the line, the pairs. Okay? Okay, the one you guys might have automatically looked at and said it's congruent is W and Z, right? Because they look like the exact same shape. Those stand out for some reason more than the others. But let's count. Let's look at the side right here and count from dot to dot. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now if I do the same thing over here, it's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Did I miss a dot? 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so let's count here, all over here. So I had 4s and 3s. Over here, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So are they congruent? Yes, they're the same size and the same shape. W and Z. Okay? Does Y go with anything? No. Lonely trapezoid. Okay? What's another pair? X and V? Kelsey, what were you going to say? X and V, did y'all count just to make sure? Okay, so I see 1, 2, 3 going on the small side. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3 going on the other small side. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 on the angled side, and 1, 2, 3 on the angle. And the bottom, the long side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so they are definitely congruent. They're the same size and same shape. Okay, let's do 8, 9, and 10 real quick. I'm just going to go ahead and do them with y'all. Normally we do this page on our own, but let's go ahead and do it together. Number 8 says, look at the kaleidoscope image and find the figure outlined in red. Which figure below appears to be congruent to it? Okay, so here's the figure in red. Everybody see that? What shape is that? Evangeline? What shape is this right here? The red outline. Forgot what you were going to say, Allie? It's congruent to L, but what shape is that? If I had to name it, what shape would it be? Nope, not a trapezoid. Kaylee? A rhombus. Good. 4 equal sides. No right angles. You are correct. It is congruent to L. Number 9. Israel is making a pattern with quadrilaterals for a wallpaper border. Which figures appear to be congruent? The 2 rectangles. Okay, could be. B, the trapezoid and 1 rectangle. Well, trapezoid and a rectangle, are they the same shape? No, so they can't be congruent. The square and 1 rectangle. No, they're not the same size or same shape. D, the rhombus and the square. Why can't they be congruent? Bryson, why can't a rhombus and a square be congruent? They're not the same shape. So A is correct. And the last one, which 2 pattern blocks can you combine to make a shape that is congruent to the shape below? Which pattern blocks? Okay. A trapezoid and 2 triangles. Okay, so remember a trapezoid looks like this most of the time. So could I combine that with 2 triangles? No, even if I put the 2 triangles down here like that, still not going to complete that shape. Trapezoid and a rhombus. So a rhombus would be, remember, like that. And if I combine a trapezoid with it, does that look like our shape? No. See? Square and 2 triangles? Yes, if I take my marker and cut right here, what did I just make? A square and 2 triangles. Here's a triangle right here. Here's a triangle right here. And the middle is a square. So C would be correct. Okay, so it really takes you having to think a little bit harder and imagine those shapes, or even draw them if you need to. Okay, so now what you're going to do in class, we're going to tear out page 503, and those of you on Seesaw will be doing the same thing. Tear this next page out, and you're doing the same thing. 1 and 2, you're going to write yes or no if they're congruent. 3, you need to look back at the pattern blocks and list all the ways you can use congruent pattern blocks to make the figures shown below. Okay? List the pairs of figures that appear to be congruent, which we just practiced that also. And then the back, same thing. Congruent or not congruent. And then you're also talking about pattern blocks. Okay? Any questions before you start? Okay. You guys may begin.